In today's reading, we're going to talk about what your higher self wants to celebrate. So, I'm just going to go in with a celebratory attitude. I'm just going to invite whatever wants to come out, and we're going to see what's your higher self really excited about. This could be something that you're also really excited about. It could also be something that maybe you're overlooking. Maybe it's something that you wouldn't have thought to celebrate yourself for, or maybe it's something that you maybe don't see as a good thing, but your higher self has a different perspective and they want to invite you into that. We're going to take a look. So, I am going to, as always, before I get into the group selection, do a brief centering exercise. So, for those of you who are new here, first of all, welcome to Sunflower Philosophy Tarot. My name is Juliana, and thank you for being here. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. And I tend to enjoy doing a little centering exercise before each reading for anyone who wants to just take a few moments to get into a bit of a meditative state, get connected with their intuition, and just relax a little bit before going into the reading. So if you're interested in joining, stick around for that. If not, timestamps are always available. You can skip ahead to the group selection, so feel free to do whatever you want to do. But for those of you who are sticking around, let's get into the brief centering exercise. As always, if you are driving or doing anything that requires your full focus and attention, feel free to sit this one out. Please do not participate if you need to be focused right now on something else. And for anyone who is able to just take some time for yourself right now, get comfortable, situate yourself, take your time getting settled in, and when you're ready, you may, if you feel called to, close your eyes and just settle more deeply into the surface that you're resting upon. Whether you're sitting, whether you're lying down. I suppose you could be taking a nice, casual, gentle walk while you're listening to this, and as long as you are alert to your surroundings, that's fine. But start to turn your attention inward at this time and turn your attention to your breathing. And with each in-breath, imagine that you're inhaling deep relaxation, love, joy, whatever feels good to you right now. And with each exhalation, imagine that you're exhaling, along with love as well, to the universe. Imagine that you're exhaling anything that's just ready to leave your system, that no longer belongs to you. And as you inhale that relaxation in and exhale anything else out, feel yourself melting into the surface that you're resting on, feeling good, feeling more relaxed than before, and ready to connect with your higher self. Now, you needn't do anything during this process. Only listen to the sound of my voice and allow yourself to relax as you set the intention now gently to connect with your higher self. And whatever your higher self is to you, means to you, however they appear to you, you'll know when you feel or see or connect in any way with them. You can trust that they are you and you are them. And just imagine that you are connecting with your very essence right now. Anything that wasn't quite aligning with that very essence, anything that you also judged or dismissed about yourself that is actually an important part of you, it's just coming back into alignment now. You are aligning with who you truly are and allowing yourself to have a moment that's all yours. All for you, intended to celebrate you at this time, whatever you have going on there is always something to celebrate, and that is what we are here to tune into today. So now you may set the intention to connect with the group today that your higher self is most aligned with, that is your higher self coming through with messages for you. If you feel called to more than one group, of course, you can take that as well. But just know that you will connect with the messages that are meant for you and your highest good, and you will know what is for you, and you will easily leave anything that is not for everyone else. And with this, if you would like to remain in a quiet meditative state for a little while longer, you may pause the video and return when you feel ready. And for everyone else who's ready to move on, please join me in the rest of the reading. Okay, so thank you to everyone who joined me for the brief centering exercise. You might feel yourself coming out of it a little bit now, feeling more connected and ready to choose your group. And also to anyone who just made their way directly here, I'm excited to get into the group selection as well. You're also welcome. So yeah, as I said in the intro, we're talking about something that your higher self wants to celebrate with you. So I mentioned this, it can be anything. Keep your mind open to the messages that come through, but trust that you'll know what's for you and you'll know what's not. And I'm going to format this in a pretty basic fashion. I have these Astro Oracle cards that I pre-selected for each group, which will kick off the reading and get us an idea of what we're celebrating. And then I'll use tarot to answer a few more questions. I'm going to be asking why we're celebrating this, why this is coming up, why your higher self wants to celebrate this with you now. I'm going to ask what's changing for you as a result of this development, assuming that that makes sense for the topic we're talking about. And I'm also going to then just ask for any further messages that your higher self wants to bring forward for you. And then I'm thinking about closing out with a few song cards, so you can stick around for that as well, just to get some musical messages in addition to everything else that comes up today. So yeah, I wasn't in a festive mood before I got started with this reading, but I am in a festive mood now. So hopefully you can join me there. And without further ado, we have 4 groups today. And for the first group, helping you select your group, we have this cherry red quartz. For group 2, we have this blue opalite stone. For group 3, we have this amethyst. It's deep purple. It's very dark. I don't know if you could see. And for group 4, we have this lemon topaz. Excellent. So take your time, feel into which group is for you. As always, you can choose more than one group. You can always choose a different group if you decide the one you chose isn't for you. Whatever you need to do, I will see you over in your reading. Hello, group 1. If you selected the cherry red quartz, you're in the right place, and this is your reading all about something that your higher self wants to celebrate with you. So yeah, we're connecting with your higher self today, and we're just going to see what they want to get excited about with you, what they want to celebrate you for, celebrate with you because they are you, right? So let's just get right into it. I mentioned this in the group selection, but I selected these Astro Oracle cards to get us started, and then I'll get into the tarot a bit later. But we're going to first look at the topic that we're celebrating in your life. We're going to get a feel for what actually it is that's going on here. So let's see. We have Uranus, number 25, with change. And we have number 40, the second house, with resources. Ooh, Uranus in the second house. Ooh, okay, so this is exciting. Definitely looks like some sudden change in your financial situation. So obviously, if this is something that's happened in your life, like you're probably already aware of it, and maybe you're also celebrating it as well. We'll look into this a bit more with the cards. I'm going to ask why they're celebrating this with you right now. I'm going to ask where this is leading for you. And then I'm also going to just see if there's any other messages they want to give you. So if you're feeling like this is your group, but you're not actually aware of any kind of financial change yet, like maybe this hasn't happened yet, or maybe there's even something that suddenly happened that's not, you're not sure if it's positive yet, right? Like maybe it's not like, you know, maybe some of you have just won the lottery, but maybe for a lot of you it's not as like obvious as having just won the lottery or like gotten a new job that you really like or something like that. But there's definitely, I feel like for most of you, there's something like that, or some kind of positive change or sudden change in your resources. Yeah, it's I'm feeling like most likely finances for a lot of people, but it could also be resources in another way, in terms of just even connections that you might have gained recently, or I am feeling like for some of you, you don't even necessarily know what this is yet, but we'll see. We'll get into it. But yeah, Uranus is a figure of change. Like Uranus, the planet, I believe it's associated with Aquarius, which can also be very like futuristic, but it's also about the unexpected. It's about breakthroughs. It's about new ideas even. Possibly for some of you, there's a new idea that's come to you that actually will have a lot to do with you like doubling your resources. There could be something in terms of like upgrading your technology, something, I don't know, something, even if it's a sudden change that's not directly related to money, at face value, it's like it will have an impact on your money. Like if you had a sudden new idea for your business, or you got a new piece of equipment that will help you do your job more effectively, like it's going to be helping your resources in the long run. Revolutionary is also what I'm hearing. So maybe some of you have an idea that could be revolutionary. Exciting. Okay, very fun. And yeah, your higher self is... Oh, I also just got with the arrow going through this apple right here, like right on target. So there's something, some of you might have a goal that's right on target. Like if you had an earnings goal for like this year or this month or something like that, you're right on target to hit it, maybe even surpass it. Or you're going to have some kind of breakthrough that will allow you to even set your sights higher than they've been. Huh. Okay. Very fun. There's also, it's also possible for those of you who aren't necessarily, like it might not necessarily be just about your physical resources. There could be a message here as well about a sudden change in your sense of self-worth, your self-esteem, and how you see yourself, which could also influence your ability to take in wealth in the long term. You know, for some of you, maybe your self-esteem and self-worth is connected to how much you value yourself, and maybe like, for example, how much you price your goods and services, or how willing you are to go for certain roles in a company, or to speak your mind, to put your ideas out there. It's also possible that this is actually like a shift that's more internal that will have external consequences as well. But it's definitely big. It's definitely a breakthrough, and it's either coming your way very soon, and you're probably like already having a sense of like something shifting, something's changing, even if you don't know what. And for others of you, like this is something that's very much already happened, and you're aware of it, and your higher self is like, yay, we're so happy for you. Well, you're so happy for you. So, okay, now let's get more information. So I'm going to ask your higher self, group 1's higher self, why are you celebrating this right now? Why is this what you want to celebrate with group 1? Why are you celebrating this right now? 3 of Swords, reversed. Is this upright or reversed? Yeah, we'll take it reversed. Okay, 3 of Swords, reversed. Where is this leading for group 1? Where is this leading for group 1? Knight of Runes, True North. Okay. A Knight of Runes is also known as in this deck, it's the Knight of Cups. And is there anything else that you want to say or bring up to group 1 about this? What else do you want them to know about this that will help keep them on track? I just heard. The Angel, which is also known as Strength. Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, but I don't know if I'm going to take that. I want to focus here, actually. So, all right. So why are they bringing this up? Group 1. With the Three of Blades, which is also the Three of Swords, in reverse, I'm getting the sense that in order for this to come through, like in order for this to happen, there's some kind of healing that you've had to go through. There's something that you're releasing, something that you're letting go of. It's possible there's something very tangible and specific that you've had to release in order to bring this in. Like, for example, if you were in a job that you liked, but then you weren't earning enough, and you knew that you outgrew it, even if it had been perfect for you at one point. It might have been difficult for you to let that go, but there was something bigger calling to you, and there might have been some healing that you had to do around that process, just a little bit of grieving. So there's something up there about having to release some kind of emotion, having to release something. But in general, I just get the sense that there's they're celebrating this because this shows that there's a willingness that you have now to heal something that maybe for a long time you either weren't aware of or were resistant to letting go of. That has become necessary to let go of it, and you have risen to the occasion. You are finally ready to release old heartbreak, to release old, even just like ways of thinking that caused you pain, that caused you suffering. I feel like you're releasing the need to suffer to have the life that you want. That's what I'm feeling. Like, I feel like you're finally stepping into this world where you realize that you're open to more, that you're worth more, that also the universe isn't based on who's worthy of, this or that. It's not based on worthiness. And so there might have been some kind of unconscious or conscious pattern that you had of punishing yourself or feeling like things needed to be difficult and that you needed to suffer in order to earn things that you're letting go of now, because it was making just like life a lot more difficult than it needed to be for no reason, because it feels like it's a very mental process. It's a very mental suffering kind of thing that you're just you've released or you're in the process of releasing, which is allowing this breakthrough to seem like the breakthrough that it is, right? Maybe for some of you as well, you're having trouble seeing the blessing in this change, whatever it is. Maybe you're having trouble accepting that you are worthy of this change, this breakthrough that's happened. And maybe you're having trouble seeing the good in it, even if it is on its face a good thing. Like, right? Like say you won the lottery. And you're like, wow, like, this could be really great. But also I'm terrified now because like, I'm probably going to lose all this money. This isn't going to work out for me. I'm going to find a way to mess this up, right? I'm not worth this amount, so I have to get rid of it quickly or spend it on other people or give it all away to charity, when that's not really like what you want to do. It's not maybe really aligned with you. Maybe there are other things that you want to do in your life to help improve it, but you might be having trouble like trusting that this is a good thing for you and that this will come through and change your life in a better way, right? And because this is coming through as like a sudden breakthrough, like the shock of it might have caused you to go into a bit of a tailspin mentally, right? So there is an element that for some of you there could be still some healing that with the Three of Blades reversed, Three of Swords reversed, it feels like you are in the process of releasing it, but you might be having trouble actually celebrating this breakthrough right now because there's some part of you that's used to heartbreak, you're used to loss, you're used to things not working out, that's coming up and sort of wreaking a little bit of havoc before it heads out. That's kind of what I'm feeling. But it's coming up because it's becoming very obvious to you that this needs to be released. And ultimately your higher self wants to, first of all, be like, wants to confirm for you, this is a good thing. This breakthrough is a cause for celebration. And if it's not something that's happened yet, it is something that you're worthy of and will happen in the near future. And it's just a matter of time. And you can start getting ready and celebrating it now if you haven't yet. But also it's acknowledging that for those of you who are struggling to be happy and excited about this, that's just because there's some patterns that are moving out of the way in order for you to step into this new cycle. I'm also thinking about, because with this Three of Swords, this Three of Blades, sometimes because the person on this card, she's a character from a book, she's smiling, right? It's a bit more of a positive attitude than you usually see depicted on the Three of Swords. So sometimes I see this as almost like someone who's a heartbreaker or also someone who someone who has an open heart. And with the Three of Blades reversed in this case, that's where I'm getting the message of maybe for some of you, your heart is still close to the possibility of this like working out in a favorable way. And again, that being something that needs to be released. But also I'm being drawn to the arrow through the apple on the second house card. And usually on the Three of Swords, you see the swords piercing the heart, right? So it's kind of a similar image. Even though this Three of Swords is a bit different, when I mentioned that I sometimes see this as like an open heart, I also see that in the other Three of Swords as like the swords piercing the heart. There might be some mental anguish. It might be painful. There might be grief, but at the same time, it's also an opening of the heart and allowing of the emotion to flow through, right? Sometimes when you're emotionally shut down, that's when you don't actually feel the heartbreak, right? But when your emotions open back up, that's when you start to feel it. But it also means that the energy is flowing again. So I feel like you've recently begun feeling, you've shifted your relationship with your feelings, or your relationship with your feelings is in the process of shifting, which is opening your heart, which in turn is also opening the energy up to flow again. And some of that energy is related to literally your physical situation, your physical resources, and your openness to receiving something new, something more. It's like that's directly related in some way, I feel. It could very well be related to your creativity as well, like becoming more emotionally open and less blocked up, right? Like less shut down is opening up your creativity again. With the Knight of Cups here, Knight of Runes, I'm seeing this as, this is answering the question of where this is leading for you. I see this as a very creatively and emotionally open card, emotionally free, creatively free. It's possible for some of you this breakthrough has to do with your creative expression, which in turn, if you're an artist and you're getting your mojo back and you're starting to create again, yeah, you're more likely to to catch people's eyes, to get clients, to get people interested in your work. And it feels like, metaphorically or literally for some of you, that is what is happening here. And that's where this is leading for you, is that you're becoming just a more freely creative person. I see this also like this Knight of Cups. You can see he's holding a paintbrush in his mouth. He's painted this horse behind him, right? This running horse. And it's almost like a bit of a messy painting, but it's still beautiful and accurate to a horse, but it's also free flowing, right? There's a sense of like free flowing creativity, not stiff, not stifled, but just like unbridled. Oh yeah, with the horse there as well, unbridled creativity. And that is something that is being unlocked for you, and it's interesting because I would almost feel like that would come first before this breakthrough. So maybe for some of you that is the case. Like, the signs of this breakthrough coming to you are like you already experiencing an unblocking of your creativity, and unblocking of your of something that was once blocked for you. For others of you, I mean, and maybe the breakthrough that you've experienced has actually been in your emotional life, in your creativity as well. Like, that's possible. I could also see this as being like Uranus being related to someone coming into your life and unblocking your creativity and being sort of a muse for you, an inspiration, or also even working with you directly. You know, there could be someone who's working with you directly to unblock something in your life as well. But regardless, I mean, it's big and it's intertwined. Like, your self-worth, your your material worth, your resources that are available to you, and your creativity are all like inextricably linked. And so this breakthrough that's happening here in this area, also, I mean, you could have a breakthrough in your resources that allows you to have access to materials you didn't before, and create things in a new way, in a less restricted way. That is also coming through. And I do feel like it's going to be different for everyone. Like, what order these breakthroughs happen in, what order these things are occurring in, but like, regardless, it's leading to more creative freedom for you, for sure. Yeah, I mean, even just the scenario of like someone who's an artist and who works a day job, then suddenly like being able to like getting a grant, or suddenly making more money in their like side hustle business or whatever, and then they can quit their job and focus more time and energy on their art. Like, that's another scenario that's coming through. Yeah, it's going to happen in all different ways for everyone, but like, that's very cool, very exciting. And with anything else that your higher self wants to tell you, in the face of this breakthrough, in the face of this celebration that we're having for this sudden breakthrough for you, for this increase in resources, for this increase in creativity, for this unblocking of your energy, they have the Angel, which is also associated with the Strength card in the regular tarot deck. But I see this as the Angel. If you have a belief in angels, like, you could take that very literally. If there's a particular angel you have connection with, this angel is coming through to be like, yeah, we're here, we're working together, working with your higher self, we're supporting you. For those of you who maybe don't have like a specific connection with an angel, but you have connection with guides of some kind or other spiritual beings, this may be them coming through as well. I'm definitely getting the sense that for a lot of people, this is like a protective entity that's supporting you through this journey. And for anyone doesn't have that kind of connection, but feels like this could be actually a bit of a difficult shift for you, even if it's a really good breakthrough, there might be some fear, there might be some emotion around this that is difficult to handle. Calling on angels, or calling on the universe, calling on directly, whatever you call it, the universe, source, God, whatever, at this time, and leaning on that force, that's going to help you through the transition. Because even if it's a good transition, if it's a sudden change, it can still be disorienting, right? The angels, the universe is behind you on this. Another message that's coming out is you are strong enough to do this, particularly on your own. Is the message that's coming through. You're strong enough to do this on your own. So I'm getting the sense of someone who's graduating, who might have been working with a mentor, and who's now gaining more independence and doing something on their own, like maybe starting their own business, starting their own offshoot of something. I'm getting someone who's literally riding a bike and taking the training wheels off and learning to ride without the training wheels, like that kind of thing. You are strong enough to be your own person. You're strong enough to be independent. You're strong enough to, if you have a sudden windfall of money, to handle it in the appropriate way that will be best for you. You're strong enough to do that, right? To to make wiser decisions with your funds, to even because this is second house, this is like personal wealth, and I'm thinking now of there's like I forget which house it is. Which house is about wealth, but it like, I think the 8th house, or is it, I think it might be the 8th house is like about like joint finances. Like this is like your personal finances, then 8th house is like joint finances, like also wealth, but like on a broader level. And I also feel like for some of you there could be a shift in how you're handling your finances, because you're thinking more in long-term goals or future goals, or thinking about bringing someone else in on your finances and thinking about how you would handle your resources differently, if that were the case. And in which case maybe you're just thinking differently about how you make purchases, right? Like, maybe there's certain things you would have just spent money with wild abandon on. You're like, oh, maybe I need to rethink this now. The angel's here also to say you're strong enough to make different decisions if you need to make better plans, to make plans that will support a future that you want, whether that's investing the money that you've recently come into, if that's the case, or whether that's making sure that as you start making more profit, making more money, or allocating resources in a certain area, in certain ways in like a business or something like that, that you have the capability to make the right decisions there, that you won't monumentally screw it up is the word that came through. Which doesn't mean, and that's something that's important that's also coming up from your higher self, is that this doesn't mean that like you have to know everything going into this experience, especially if you have a sudden like change in your financial situation, or a sudden change in just like your work situation. It might be disorienting at first, or a sudden change in even just how your perspective on your finances and how you want to handle them going forward. You don't have to like know how to do everything right out the gate, but just setting your sights on where you want to be, setting your sights on who you want to be with the increase in resources that you're receiving or bringing in, you will be guided, you will be able to find your way there. And if you make some quote unquote mistakes along the way, don't panic, right? Like you've got the universe at your back, you've got support, and that's all only ever going to happen in service of redirecting you in a direction that's more suitable for you. So think of it that way if you come across any unexpected maybe pitfalls or things that that you weren't prepared for in whatever this new journey is. Because I do feel like even though there might be a sudden breakthrough that's happening here, it is creating lasting change. It's kicking off like a new chapter of your life in a way. And so, you don't have to like do it all. You don't have to understand like everything you will eventually come to understand at the end of this new chapter, right? You're just starting. So enjoy the journey, basically. And I'm getting just a couple song cards to close this out. So anything else that your higher self wants to let you know? I already got one. Anything else? Any other songs for group 1? Okay, yeah. Also, like, one thing I realized is that most of the songs that I feel like I put in this pile are like they're like high emotion, very dramatic, very a lot. And I understand that doesn't serve everyone's situation. Although I do also know that, like, yeah, life can feel really dramatic and a lot and deeply emotional at times as well. That's, like, why we have music like this, right? But I just want to say, if some of the messages from the songs come off as very heavy and your situation is not quite as heavy as the song is, you can just, like, dial it back a little bit, dial it down, and take the lighter message from it. But we have Rainbow by Kesha, which says, I found a rainbow. Trust me, I know life is scary, but just put those colors on, girl, come and play along with me tonight. So Rainbow is also a song from Kesha, all about healing. It's all about it's all about lightening up, actually, like seeing the color in life after a time of seeing darkness or black and white, and just not really feeling as vibrant. And I do feel like for some of you, you're relating to that in terms of the messages that came through with this Three of Swords, right? Coming out of maybe a more painful time or an emotional time, or releasing some emotions that are now allowing you to like kind of unblock some of your abundance and also creativity that's coming through. So like for some of you also, maybe the ability to create again will allow you to or is allowing you to express some things that have gone unexpressed for a long time, and that might be, you know, coming out through art, which could be a lucrative it could be lucrative for you, but that might not be your main goal, right? The expression that you're creating is really like the main goal here is getting these things out. So but in general, I feel like your higher self is saying, like, if you're having trouble enjoying this change, enjoying this sudden shift, they're inviting you to put some of those like heavier feelings aside and come on and play with them. Like, enjoy this new development, enjoy this sudden breakthrough, and start to lighten up and see all of the wonderful possibilities that can come from this. Because like they're ready to play, and they're wanting you to join them. And we also have What I've Overcome by Fireflight, I think. Yeah. I've got this passion. It's something I can't describe. It's so electric. It's like I've just come alive. I feel this freedom now that my past is erased. I feel the healing. I found the meaning of grace. Yeah, I mean, like, some of you might be religious here. Pretty sure this is a Christian band. And we did have that message about potentially leaning on angels or God at this time. So if that resonates with you, that's just further confirmation, I feel like. Because that's sometimes what I associate with this card. But regardless, even if that's not you, it's definitely feeling like this could be relating back to the creativity here that's flowing from you. This passion that you have for something, something that you're creating, even just like if you're not an artist or creating a business or something like that, creating your life, you know, you're being encouraged to really feel into the passion that you feel for whatever it is that you're doing, and to keep focused on that, especially if like material gain is kind of like triggering for you. I know that might sound weird to some people, but like could be, yeah. And if also like say like it's like there's something you're passionate about, but like bringing money into it, your relationship with money is like kind of toxic, I just heard, or shaky, and it makes it hard to enjoy the process. This is reminding you that enjoying the process is the most important part, and the passion needs to flow first. The money will follow. So this is reminding you to keep connecting with your passion for whatever it is that you're doing, for life, and to also embrace the freedom of, I don't know, there's something that you've let go of here, or something that you're letting go of here, and you're embracing a new sense of freedom, maybe even financial freedom for some of you for the first time. And while that can be scary, like it's time to enjoy it. Like, it's time to accept that this is the path that you're on, that you're worthy of it, that you're meant to be here, and that there's a lot of really cool stuff waiting for you in this new chapter, on this new in this new reality that I feel like you're living in as a result of this sudden change. That, you know, any change that's sudden, it's probably been building up for a while in the background, right? But we don't always see it coming, even if that's the case. So yeah, just remember to focus on what you're passionate about, what brings you joy, and allow yourself to let go of that which is in the past, that which doesn't. So that's all the messages I have for you, group 1, but I'm so happy to celebrate this with you and your higher self. And I want to thank you and your higher self for this reading. And if you're interested in a personal reading, then you can feel free to check out our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com. Links are in the description, as well as hypnosis and human design services. We also offer those. So if you're interested, feel free to check them out too. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear from you. Have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye! Hi Group 2, if you selected the blue opalite, then you're in the right place, and this is your reading all about something that your higher self wants to celebrate with you. So, as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to go in with an open mind, and I did get this Astro Oracle card to kind of kick us off on what we're celebrating. But yeah, we're going to get more information as well from the tarot after that, and then we'll get some song cards in the end to finish up with any other messages that your higher self has for you. But let's just get right into it. So for you, we have this card, number 4, Cancer, Immerse. So the sign of Cancer, first of all, could be significant to you. Sun, Moon, Rising, or your Cancer placements, wherever you have Cancer placements, if you have Cancer placements in your astrological chart, if you're aware of that, could be significant. The moon could be a significant symbol for you. Crabs could be a significant animal for you. The number 4 as well could be significant in terms of like life path number, or maybe it's a number in your birthday or someone else's birthday. But this has to do with your relationship with your emotions. I'm definitely getting that. Cancer is a water sign, so water emotions, and immerse. I'm like thinking of like immersing yourself in the ocean, like a crab, like, you know, like a crab. Like you're like immersing yourself in your emotions as well, or something about redefining your relationship with your emotions. That is something that your higher self wants to celebrate. Coming out of your shell as well. Like, I feel like a lot of you might have a very protective shell, and there's a way in which you are finding a new way to work with this aspect of yourself. Like, yeah, you're like coming out of your, like, even with this crab here, like, they have a shell like any crab does. Like, if they didn't, they'd be dead. But it's very like ornate and decorative, and it's very pretty and kind of showy. And I almost feel like you are like redefining what it means to have a shell in the first place. Like, if you're someone who's maybe been a bit shy, the word is coming through, a bit closed off, maybe a bit defensive and protective of yourself in a way that has, I don't want to say like prevented you from like putting yourself out there, but maybe that's the case. Maybe that's what you feel like has happened. It's kind of like you're redefining your relationship with your protective measures. Like I don't know, like you've been like it's almost like you've been like a wealthy person's house on lockdown, right? Like you've got like all these like I don't know, like these bodyguards and stuff like that stationed around the house, and like security and like cameras and all that. And but it's almost like your house wasn't actually that showy to begin with. You were just like preemptively like scared, right? Preemptively like you spent more money on the security than you did on the house itself. Yeah. And now you're coming to a place where like it's like you didn't want to attract attention, but also in the off chance that you did, you had all these like measures in place to keep you safe, just in case like someone got past like the initial, like in case someone saw through and was like, oh wow, there's actually something of like value in there. Because like, don't get me wrong, Group 2, you are extremely valuable. There is a lot of value to you, and you might have trouble believing that because I feel like you've been so good at playing yourself down for so long that like when it's time for you to step out and shine and show yourself to the world, you don't even know how to do that, or you don't believe it when other people actually see. Like, I feel like people can't help but see the true value in you, and yet at the same time you go out of your way to not show it. And then also you have these protective measures so that if people get too close, you're like, no. And I feel like you've realized this. I feel like you've come to a new way of like perceiving or thinking about life where you're feeling like you can show off a bit more. and feel safer in that, and step out of your shell and step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone in some way, which your comfort zone might have been very small and restrictive, and you are learning, you're redefining what security and safety means to you and what you're required to do in order to keep yourself safe. What is required of you in order to keep yourself safe, right? Because, crabs have shells because they have a very soft underbelly and they couldn't survive without them. But there's a difference between... I don't know why I'm laughing. There is a difference between having, like, a shell that, like, is part of you and easily you can, like, and you easily maneuver with, and it's just, like, a natural, like, it's just a natural part of you, right? That you can walk around with, and it doesn't hamper you. It's, like, part of your physiology. It's just part of who you are, and it's, like, it's normal for you. Versus, like, having, like, a shell and then, like, putting shell, like, also hiding inside of one, having a bunch of shells piled on top of you so you can barely move around, and you're just like, but this is what's going to keep me safe. It's like, no, you already have a shell. Like, it's just part of you. You don't have to, like, try, like, you don't have to, like, put extra protection on you, like, right? I'm getting, like, someone who is, like, has, like, a basic ass house but spends most of their time living in, like, the basement bunker. I don't know why I'm laughing right now. I hope it's because a lot of you, like, I don't want you to feel like your higher self is, like, laughing at you, but I almost feel like, I mean, maybe for some of you, humor is part of your defense mechanism, or maybe you're starting to learn to take life and yourself less seriously. So a lot of you might be laughing along with me right now. I hope so, because I wanna let you in on a little secret group too. I relate to this heavily, so this might just be my group as well, and that might be why I'm laughing, because I'm, like, feeling a little called out, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that if other people can relate to this, because I feel like oh, okay, wait, I hadn't even asked the question yet, but I'm keeping this card. That's so cute. I was gonna ask why your higher self is celebrating this. I'm not even sure if this is answering that question. The 10 of Rings or 10 of Pentacles came out, and I just felt this immediate, like, aw, that's so sweet. Oh, okay. I'm not even sure what the message is, but it feels really sweet. Like, this is such a sweet card. Like, these two characters now, they're characters from a book. They are husband and wife, and they have a bit of a miscommunication, but they're both very sweet characters in their own way, like, very wholesome, I want to say. And so I almost feel like, like, I don't know, maybe you are realizing, I feel like maybe you're learning to look at life through a more wholesome lens and realizing where your defenses might have prevented you from seeing the good in life, seeing the potential in life, like cutting yourself off from future potentials before they could even come to fruition, because part of your defense mechanism might have been reading the worst into every situation, reading the worst into someone's intentions, reading the worst into a situation where you're like, well, this just won't work out, right? Anytime you try to think of the future, in some kind of job situation, and friendships, and in romantic relationships, you might have had the tendency to shut things down quickly because your defense mechanism, part of that was projecting into the future the worst case scenario, or projecting into people's words and actions and intentions the worst intentions without actually knowing for sure that that's the truth. But that was your way of protecting yourself. That was like your extra security. That was like your bodyguards going a little ham when they maybe didn't need to. And I feel like either something's happened recently in your life that has, like, encouraged you to open up more, or that's been the process that you've been going through, or you've just, like, realized that, like, you're safer than you thought you were, and you're starting to see life through a lens that is much gentler and easier, less dramatic, there's less turmoil, potentially like within you, but also maybe externally. Maybe there's also a special important person who is helping you in this transition. I almost feel like this could be also like, I don't know, like it's not even like Henry and Charlotte have this kind of relationship where they're like uber protective of each other, but I feel like it's like the idea is that they're very safe with each other, to be who they really are. And so I do feel like there could be a special relationship or person who is helping you take down your defenses a bit, right? That could be part of it as well. But I also feel like your higher self is celebrating this right now, because this is like this is part of you creating your happy ever after. Because I feel like you have realized that there's no need, where you're headed and where you are and where you're headed, there's no need for the extra defenses. Like I feel like you're creating a situation for yourself, you're creating a life for yourself where you can be soft and vulnerable and safe, and part of that process involves you like like I'm getting the scene in like any like action movie where like characters have weapons on them, right? And they have to take their weapons off, and you know they remove their sword and their bow and their arrow or this gun and that gun and this knife and whatnot, and like they've got all these like hidden like weapons on them, and it just like doesn't stop. They just keep taking them off. I feel like that's what you're doing. I'm sorry, I'm laughing so much. I just feel like it's such a relief. I feel like it's such a relief after all this time to start finally like putting your gun down and like taking a step back and like settling into a much like gentler way of viewing life and of experiencing life, because this is the 10 of Pentacles. So that, I mean, I feel like this also is big because I feel like this is like a generational thing. This is a generational, I don't want to call it curse. I don't really like, yeah, I've said that before probably, but I don't even want to call it that. I almost feel like this is a generational thing. Like maybe your defensiveness and protectiveness has come from your parental line, your ancestry as well. Like maybe this has just been also in reference to just the way of the world. Like maybe the world that you grew up in, people were very protective and defensive. Maybe even to the point where like you don't know where it came from originally, but it was probably passed down through the family line from a time when your family was even maybe in dire straits. Like maybe you grew up in a situation that was that required you to be more protective, but also for some of you might not even know where it comes from, right? It might come from generations before where that was more necessary. And I feel like you're also creating a future for yourself, but not only yourself, for your family, your future family, if you have one already, also just like for your current children or anyone in your close family proximity. You don't have to have children, right? But for like anyone who you will, anyone's lives who you will guide and touch, like who will go on after you and carry on your legacy, right? Like you're creating a legacy of like a much softer, gentler way of interacting with the world and with other people. And part of that is disarming your defenses and learning that you are naturally protected. You naturally have your own shell. You naturally have your own safety net in a way, like energetically, emotionally, whatever it is. Like you don't need all the extra stuff, right? And that is going to ripple out to future generations as well, if you have a family or if you choose to have one in the future. Wow, okay, I didn't even get the other cards yet, which I was planning to, but it's fine. Okay, so we're asking, where is this leading for you? Which I feel like we already got into that, but all right. Knight of Blades, okay, and Ace of Steels, Ace of Wands is the. So this is in this deck, blades, rings are pentacles, blades are swords, steels are wands. This is from a book series if you're not familiar, so you don't need to know this. It's just for me. Oh look! It's the same character from the 10 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here. Him popping out again feels significant. There could be a significant person who kind of gives like Henry Branwell vibes. And by Henry Branwell vibes, I mean, he's like, he's a sweetie, but he's also very distracted a lot of the time and very focused on, he's like an inventor. He's ahead of his time, and he's not very well understood by the rest of the world, but he's also just like very happy and content to be like with his machines and stuff like that. And this does cause some like miscommunications with Charlotte early on in their relationship, where like both Henry and Charlotte aren't really sure where they stand with each other, even though they're married, because like it's like also set in a time when like people did get married for like convenience, so it wasn't 100% clear like that they actually cared for each other. And like him being so invested in his own thing and his own like little inventions and things that he's working on sometimes cause Charlotte to feel like, oh, that's all he cares about. And then Charlotte being very much a leader, and she's like a warrior and a fighter, and she's the head of the institute that they work at. I won't get into the whole thing, whatever. And she's very smart, and like they're both very smart, but in different ways. And so like they struggle with self-worth, and they have trouble understanding that each other has any feelings for each other whatsoever. It's very sweet, but a little frustrating at first. But ultimately, like I said, very wholesome relationship. And I just feel like maybe there's like maybe you relate to Henry Branwell in a way of like being very smart, but also not necessarily always like the best at communicating, right? Maybe your defense mechanisms show up in similar ways, or maybe you have someone who's Henry like in your life as well, who wants to come through. Because where this is leading for you, we have the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So Knight of Swords, I was immediately thinking like more direct communication, more confident communication. Like instead of like, I don't see the Knight of Swords as defensive so much as offensive, but like not this character notwithstanding, because he's not really a good guy. The Knight of Swords I see as someone who strategically acts, who communicates clearly, maybe sometimes can be a little too blunt or quick, but I see it as more of your quick wit shining through, your true intentions and your true feelings coming across much faster and easier than they did before. Whereas in the past, you might have had more defenses up, so it made it difficult for you to communicate clearly, because I'm getting the sense of like someone who doesn't let anyone in, not only like maybe physically not letting people near them, but like not letting people in, like not letting people see their true feelings, right? Not letting people see like when someone hurts your feelings, not being honest about that. When someone is really special to you, not being honest about that, and just like not being able to communicate. So I feel like communication is going to come a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot more direct, and it's going to help start new adventures for you, new opportunities, potentially creative ones, potentially romantic ones. This being like a first kiss kind of moment for these characters here. That's what's depicted. It's like kicking off a new relationship. So that could be very literal for some of you, but it could just be like you speaking up for yourself is allowing you to get more opportunities to try new things, to experience life in a new way. You just in general opening up to new adventures because you're less overprotective of yourself, and you're more confident in your own safety in the world. Yeah. And like, your higher self is really excited about the new adventures you're gonna go on. Cool. And I want to know if there's anything else. What else do you want to say? Oh, 2 more cards. Okay. 9 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands, or 9 of Rings and 4 of Steels. Oh, and look, he's back. So it's Henry again. So again, there could be a significant person. This could be you. But I also think that the scientist, who is kind of like this is kind of like a secondary fool card in this deck. The scientist is like someone who enjoys the process. Like Henry is an inventor who makes a lot of mistakes and messes things up, and like people don't always think the best of him because of like the mistakes that he makes, but yet he has the best of intentions and he gets there in the end. And it's just because people don't see like his vision, because he's so ahead of the curve, that like, you know, that they don't believe in him. But because he's just so caught up in the process and enjoying himself and enjoying like just creating and trusting his own intellect, he doesn't, he might notice that other people don't believe in him. He might notice other people's reactions to him, but it doesn't stop him. He just keeps going. He doesn't feel the need to explain himself to everyone. He just trusts the process. He knows what he's doing and he enjoys the process, and he just doesn't stop being him no matter what. And that's the thing, is I feel like you're also taking on more of a Henry kind of vibe in terms of like just being different, being who you are, and not needing to protect and defend yourself so much from the rest of the world, because you are just innately comfortable being yourself, and you realize like you don't need to protect yourself from other people's opinions, from other people's misunderstandings of you. You just need to focus on your own deal. Like, focus on your own self, focus on your life, focus on what is interesting to you, what is fun to you, and trust yourself. You could be someone who might take it really personally if someone questions what you're doing, if someone questions your life choices, if someone questions things that you like. Fair. Listen, I'm a Cancer rising, okay? I get it. And in Aries as well, so like I don't think that helps in that respect. But but I feel like you are having a breakthrough in terms of like relating to other people's opinions differently, and other people's lives and the way that they go about them differently, and just like being like, I'm gonna do my own thing over here. You don't need to be so focused on the external and protecting yourself from the external. You're more focused on the internal now. You're more focused on the experience that you're having in the moment, and that helps you not hear all that noise so much, not take that in, not take that on as your own. That being said, like with the 9 of Rings and the 4 of Wands, I mean, like, yeah, what your higher self wants you to know is that this is just leading to more satisfaction for you in your present moment. Just like enjoyment of what you have, trust in what you have, trust in what you're building, creating for yourself, trust in the life that you're building and creating for yourself, and a solid foundation. Like you can trust that you are building and have built a solid foundation for yourself. I don't know exactly what way, because I feel like this could be different for a lot of people. It could be emotionally, it could be mentally, physically, but it could also be financially, with the 9 of Pentacles being here. For some people, there's also the message of whatever it is that you're working on. Like if you have a specific project that you're working on, just focus on the project. Like, don't focus on what anyone else is saying about it. Don't focus on, don't get stuck in like other people's opinions or what you think other people will think of it. Like, be very much immersed in the process of it, and in knowing your own worth and your own skills, right? But this is also related to your sense of self-worth. I feel like coming out of your shell, so to speak, or at least embracing like your inner security. Yeah, this is like about your like personal security, your sense of security, maybe literally, but like, and physically, but also just in yourself. Like you have whether you know it or not, you have enough of a foundation of security for yourself that you can take more risks. And those risks might not be literally financially or anything like that. Those risks might not be physically, but those risks might be like emotional risks, you know what I mean? Because you've got a good foundation. Maybe you even have a good support system that you can rely on. Actually, for a lot of you, I do feel like that is a message of like, you can rely more on your support system if you have a family to support you. But if you don't have a family to support you, if you have friends, if there's something about having a support system, even connecting with the universe, your guides, higher self as your support system, right? That kind of came through in the last group as well. But like, even if you're not sure if you believe in that sort of thing, right? Because you don't have to be at a tarot reading. Like, you don't have to believe in all of the esoteric kind of stuff to be at a tarot reading. Like, even if you don't believe in that, like, you know, trying it out, making a practice of connecting with something beyond yourself anyway, just for the heck of it, just to feel more supported, just might be helpful, you know? You can look at it from a utilitarian lens, even if you're just looking at it as like tricking your brain into feeling safer, which, I mean, like, that's all you really need to do. Sometimes you just need to calm your nervous system down in any way that you can, but also That's not to dismiss, other people's very real experiences that they have with spiritual beings and things like that. I just know that everyone is on a different page as far as that goes and has a different way of relating to life. And whatever your way is of creating security for yourself, leaning on that, trusting in that. Yeah. But this is also a message of you're ready. Yeah, you're gonna be okay. Also, just last minute message of taking care of your health, and also if there's if there are ways that you can support yourself, or people you can go to get more support in this process. If you are having trouble letting your guard down still, if this is something that's still an ongoing situation, reach out to people, take the measures that you can take, give yourself some grace and time to move through what I feel is a relatively significant change in perspective for you. But yeah, you're safe is the ultimate message here. You are safe. And you're starting to believe that. Oh, I still, every time I look at that 10 of rings, I don't know, I just get such a sweet, feeling. I feel like your higher self is this is the future that we've always wanted for you. And I don't know what that means when I say that, but I do feel like this is somehow about your future and the future that you're creating. This is what they've always wanted for you, and they're so excited about it. Hey, group 2, real quick, I almost forgot. I'd already started cleaning your stuff up when I remembered that I did song cards for the other group. So I did pull some song cards for you guys too. I just pulled them before I started recording because I just wanted to get this on with. I pulled some song cards, additional messages from your higher self. And I mentioned this in group 1 as well, but I know some of these songs can be a little bit dramatic and they might not actually resonate with the real situation that you're in, even though life can feel dramatic at sometimes. So if there's a message or some lyrics that seem a little it could relate, but it's a little over dramatic for my situation, just, take a little bit of a watered down version of that message. That's what I've been doing. 'Cause that's one of the, yeah, or maybe it's just a good song that your higher self thinks you would like. So you can look at it that way as well. So first things first, we have Rainbow by Kesha, which was actually in group 1. And I just kind of feel like this one, it's all bent up. It's just going to keep popping out for each group. But at the same time, I also feel like the message does resonate with your message. So I am taking it for your group as well. Even though this card seems to be very jumpy today, I'm just going to trust that. So Rainbow by Kesha, the lyrics on the back say, "I found a rainbow, trust me, I know life is scary, but just put those colors on, girl, come and play along with me tonight." Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, this is definitely a message for you as well, your higher self, similar as in group 1, which maybe also resonated with you in some way, maybe you also picked group 1, so that could be a possibility as well, but I definitely feel like this is your higher self saying, listen, I know things can be scary. I know why we protected ourselves so much for so long. I know why you had these defenses up, but it's time to lighten up. It's time to come and play. It's time to have more fun, to be more an active participant in your life in ways that you weren't before. So let's go. Let's do it. Very encouraging, very nice. We also have Hold On by Alexia Evelyn. And it says, "Never give up on love, never give up on us, never give up on love, on us, on trust. Dance the hurt away, dance it all away." Yeah, never give up on yourself. Your higher self will never give up on you. So this could be a process that's a bit difficult for you, letting your guard down, But your higher self really wants you to know that you're in this together. I mean, they are you, but whatever. And that you've got this, and that you have a bright future ahead, so you can let your guard down. It is safe to do so. They've got you. Potentially as well, I mentioned there might be another person coming through in this reading as well who is also conveying that message to you as well. I feel like, if anything, if you believe in your person, your higher self and another person's higher self, they're working together. So that could be significant as well. Also, listen to these songs. If there might be additional messages in the other lyrics or in the music itself. Just there might be something that you enjoy, so check them out. And then we also have Chokehold by Sleep Token. I don't know why every time the song comes out, I'm like, it's so dramatic, but it's a good song. I mean, like, if you like kind of like more metal music, which I do. And the lyrics are, when we were made, it was no accident. We were tangled up like branches in a flood. So maybe there is another person involved in this situation, but I also feel like this is your higher self, again, just being like, listen, like, you are me, I am you, and I help keep you safe. So there is a continued message for me. I feel like your higher self actually wants you to know, like, that part, like, part of the quote unquote protective shell that you're naturally born with is like them, like their energy, their existence. I've shared this once before in another reading, but I'm bringing this up again. I was once given a reading by another person who spoke from the perspective of my higher self and basically said, like, when you're feeling anxiety, when you're feeling scared, you can imagine, like, I'm surrounding you, or we're surrounding. I don't know if it was like I forget how exactly they refer to themselves, but like you are within me, basically, like I'm like protecting you, kind of thing. I feel like that is what your higher self wants to convey to you, that you can imagine and feel yourself being surrounded by them, by your higher self. You're encapsulated in that energy, and that is your protection. Like, you're always being protected by them, basically. Like, they're always there. So if you don't feel that, if you feel the fear, it's never true. It's a lie, and it's something that you can begin to let go of. Because trust that if there is a moment where you need to react, you need to respond, you need to think fast, you need to get out of a situation, you'll know it in that moment, but you don't need to preemptively fear. You don't need to strategize or plan ahead as much as you might have been prone to in the past, having all these defense mechanisms in place. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're always with you. So I will now cut back to the outro. Okay. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. But congratulations. So happy I could celebrate this with you and your higher self. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, we do offer those on our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com, link in the description, along with hypnosis and human design as well. If you are... Nope. I was just going to say, if you want to like, comment, or subscribe, then I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how this resonated. That would be amazing. It would make my day. And yeah, thanks again. I hope you have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye. Hi, Group 3. If you selected the Amethyst Stone, then you're in the right place, and this is your reading all about what your higher self wants to celebrate with you. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at these Astro Oracle cards, which have the topic that we're celebrating, and then we'll get some more information from tarot, and then we'll pull some song cards. Hopefully I'll remember, because I forgot in another group, at the end of your reading. So let's just get right into it with what your higher self wants to celebrate with you at this time. So we have the number 35 with Ascendant and Entrance, and we have number 51 with Conjunction and Alliance. You know what? Did these two cards come out together in the reading I did right before this one, like the one that was posted right before this one, the week before this one? I feel like both of these cards came out together in that reading as well, and it's about an important meeting or an important meeting that you're meant to have. So maybe you were also drawn to that group. I feel like it was group 3 from that reading, where these cards came out. Maybe you're also drawn to that group. Maybe there's messages there for you as well. I can't remember if it was definitely these two specifically, but these two cards, at least, if they didn't come out in the same group together, they definitely both came out in that reading. Interesting. But yeah, okay, well, this is, to me, this feels like the celebration of like a new beginning, a new it could be a new alliance, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new way of relating with someone else. Interesting. You might want to look into what your ascendant, if you're interested in astrology, you might want to look into, if you don't know already, what your ascendant sign is, your rising sign. That could be important here. That could be significant. Maybe that's playing an important role in some area of your life right now, related to this. But yeah, ascendant and conjunction. Entrance and alliance. Like, I do feel like this is simply like the celebration of like a new alliance in your life. And I feel like the word alliance is like, it's kind of clinical. Like, I don't know if, I don't know what kind of relationship this would be. So I get the sense that for a lot of you, whatever this is varies a lot. You know, it could be a new relationship in a traditional romantic sense. It could be a new friendship. It could be a new, like, truce. Or, like, I don't know, like, yeah, like, there could be, it could be someone you're teaming up with in something. It could be, like, literally like an alliance. Getting, like a reality TV show, like, where certain people might form alliances with other members of the cast in order to not be voted out of the house, or in order to, like, confront someone else in something or something like that. Even, like, I'm getting, like, an intervention kind of thing, like allying with other people. Like, it's, like, even, like, an unlikely alliance, like two people coming together who you wouldn't expect in order to overthrow or confront some other person or entity. But it's new, whatever it is, with entrance, with ascendant. And it could have to do, like, it could be related to the message I got in the other reading I mentioned earlier about, like, a meeting. I was getting, like, something related to family, even, like, a sibling relationship. So there could be something there, like, a new, like, maybe you and a sibling have reconnected, or you've teamed up in some way in your family unit to make some changes. But the other groups were a little bit clearer in terms of the gist of what we were celebrating. And while, like, there's an element of this that I'm not sure about. So let's get some more information first of all. Let's see. Why are you celebrating this right now? Ooh, that's too many cards. Group 3's higher self. Why are we celebrating this right now? Why are we celebrating? Why do you want to celebrate this with group 3? Okay. Ace of Rings, Ace of Pentacles. So, like, there is a new start happening here. There's potential here. There's potential in whatever this alliance is. Massive potential, I just heard. Okay. Where is this leading for group 3? Can we clarify this Nine of Blades? Actually? Interesting. Okay. Interesting. And is there anything else that you want group 3 to know about this situation? Okay. Interesting. Let me see. I want to make sure that you can see all the cards. Yeah. All right. So, okay. I feel like with all right, actually, I'm going to start over here with why they want you to, why they want to celebrate this. Like, why this is coming up right now. And I feel like that's because, like, or actually, it was actually what else do they want you to know about this? But I feel like what we're actually answering here is why this is coming up right now. And I feel like there's been a pattern of you being overburdened, maybe taking on more than you can handle. The literal situation of this character, in the middle here, Julian, is that he's an older brother of this family, and his parents died when they were young, and he's the one who has to end up taking care of all of his siblings. So he ends up like kind of being like a father figure when he's still very young. And then his older like half siblings, they are taken away from the family as well for reasons that are not anyone's, it's other people's fault. It's not their fault. And so like, yeah, so he's just kind of like, he takes on way more than he should have to for his age, basically. Which it's hard. It's rough. It's rough on him. And so I feel like there's some way in which you've been overburdened, where you've maybe taken on too much, or had a lot put on your plate at a young age, even. Maybe that's also where this ascendant is coming from. It's like ascendant, like, I think of like where you begin, your beginnings, where you start from. And I feel like there's something here. Yeah, it's like there's an alliance that's being formed because I feel like you're no longer working alone, or you're no longer being forced to work alone or be the sole supporter anymore of like something or someone or a group of people. Yeah. Like, I feel like this is letting you know, like, you don't have to take it all on anymore. Like, you don't have to be the only one anymore. It doesn't have to all be on your shoulders. That's what I'm feeling. And with the Ace of Rings, the Ace of Pentacles over here being why this is, why your higher self wants to celebrate this at this time, it's because there's I feel like there's a lot more potential for you in some area of life that's maybe been stifled by some of the things that you've had to take on previously. Like, you've got some unexplored and untapped potential. There's like a lot more that you can create. There's a lot more that you can do. But when I say that, I almost don't want to say it like that, because I feel like you've been doing a lot, or you've had to do a lot. And so you might not like to hear, oh, here's some more. Here, you're getting rid of one burden so that you can take on another. And it's not that at all. I actually feel like this Ace of Rings here, it's like one kernel of like the potential that you can have in other areas of your life that have gone unexplored, but you would be exploring this from a place of freedom, from a place of finally being able to. I just even heard financial freedom in some way. And it's almost like also with this Five of Rings here, like it's like taking on too much, having too much on your plate. Going from that to this Ace of Rings, it's like now you have this one ring that you can now take on, and it's almost like you've released the other burdens. Like, you can focus on your situation now. You can focus on what you want to create, what you actually want to focus on. Yes, that's what I'm feeling like. So I feel like, yeah, there's some kind of new alliance that you formed, new way of relating with someone else or other people that is allowing you to take some of the burdens off of your plate and focus on what you really want to focus on. Like, and when I say this, I don't mean like it. Obviously, everyone's situation is different. So whatever, like, quote unquote burdens that you've taken on, whatever it is that's been maybe weighing on you, or has been a lot, like whatever you've had to take on, especially if you had to take some stuff on at a younger age, or you've been caring for people in your life who can't care for themselves, things like that. I'm not saying like, oh, just ditch them, just ditch that responsibility, just ditch everything all at once or whatever. But in this case, I feel like there's some element of the situation wherein you can actually release some of this now. Like, it might come down to looking for other options. But in this case, I feel like, again, like there's some kind of alliance that you've made. Like, maybe, you know, if you're someone who is caring for someone, maybe you've actually been able to have another carer come in, or you've been able to work with other people in your family or in the loved ones of this person to create a situation where it's more balanced, where you've got more people handling this issue. If you're in a workspace, for example, Maybe you've had a lot on your plate and you're finally being able to delegate this stuff to more people, and you're letting go of some of those burdens. Maybe it's a case where there are people that you need to set boundaries with, where you need to say, hey, I can't take this on anymore. I can't support you like this anymore. I can't do this anymore. My priorities have changed. This is different. That's different. For some people, it could also be like someone else being able to share the burden with you. Because again, like alliance here, I do feel like you formed some kind of connection with someone or something like that, or forged some kind of like, okay, like kind of like the message that was coming through in the significant meeting reading, the one that was posted right before this one. It's like, I lost it. I lost it. There was something that was coming through from that reading, and I think it was group 3. That was like, it's just, oh yeah, like the example of coworkers in a workplace where maybe things have been a little bit toxic, like teaming up to go to the boss and be like, hey, like this isn't working anymore, like, right? But you're working together on it, so it's not all on one person. No one has to be the fall guy. No one has to take the fall. Yeah, like I feel like you're just like learning to get to delegate more, and it's taking things off of your plate, and it's also realizing like it doesn't have to all be on your shoulders, right? Like you've come to that realization that it either doesn't have to be or it can't be anymore, and this is a good thing. And realizing that you have an ally in whatever the situation is a good thing, and being able to work with someone else and let someone else shoulder some of this is a good thing, ultimately, for you, for everyone involved, right? Because it couldn't all be on your shoulders forever. That's what I'm getting with this 5 of Rings. And with the cards in the center, where this is leading for you, I feel like you've had a lot of anxiety, a lot of rumination, a lot of worry that you've had to keep silent, that you've had to, or even if you haven't had to keep silent, like maybe you just don't talk about those things a lot. Maybe there's just a lot you have not talked about. I feel like you are learning to release a lot of those anxieties, and you're also realizing with the lycanthropes here, that's also the moon card, you're realizing where it's like they're rising up. These cards came out also in that. This is, if you're not here from group 3 of the previous, I don't know. Because these cards also came out in that reading. The moon and the 9 of Swords. And it's like you're realizing where subconscious patterns have caused anxiety for you, and you're realizing that you don't need that anymore. Like you can let that go, and there might be actual like physical, like literal boundaries you can set in your actual life that will help ease those anxieties for you. And that's where this is leading. I almost feel like the silent brother is almost like you meditating in stillness finally, like and with your thoughts, instead of fighting your thoughts, instead of fighting your anxieties and worries and patterns, you're like sitting with them. You're allowing them, and you're also allowing understanding to come through in terms of like where they came from and what caused them. And you're also maybe able to do this because you've let certain things go that were taking up your time, that were taking time away from you from reflecting and actually having a moment to sit back and say, what's going on in here? And this is actually a really good thing, as I mean, we're celebrating, so it's definitely a good thing. But I almost feel like this is one of those things that your higher self is celebrating, that your human self, I feel like you'll eventually celebrate it, but it might not feel like the triumph that it is to your higher self yet. I feel like you still have some processing to do, and I do feel like what this is leading to for you is like, yeah, taking some things off your plate and being able to focus on like your own self and maybe like a new path that you really want to focus on. And it could be specifically financially, but it's also leading you to like more introspection, more time to understand who you really are and why your life has been the way it has been, why you are the way you are. And that is that is where you're meant to be. Like, that's where you're meant to be headed. Your higher self is very excited about that. Your higher self wants this opportunity for you. It's time for that. But I actually am going to get another card to see, like, if there's anything else, any encouragement that your higher self can give you during this time, because it might be a bit difficult, you know? This might be a bit difficult for you. So I'm gonna get you an extra card, because I feel like this is one of those things where your higher self is like, yeah, let's do it, and you're like, oh my god, why? You know, it might not be as easy. So, do you have any encouragement or advice for yourself here? Fell on the floor. Oh, this was on the bottom of the deck. That's so funny. Is this upright or reverse? 2 of 3. Upright or reverse? Okay. I think it doesn't really matter. 2 of blades. 2 of swords. I kind of wanted them to tell us where this is taking you, like where you're going as a result of this, like what's the reward basically for this this potentially difficult setting of boundaries, or this alliance that you formed. Like, where's this heading? And I almost feel like it's hard for you to see right now, because you kind of have to go through it to get to the other side. You kind of have to, like, trust. And but we do have the 2 of runes, the 2 of cups on the bottom of the deck, like, and it's Will and Tessa, like, yeah. So there's, like, definitely some at least strongly, like things are, like, gonna work, like, and that's what? What is going on? I feel like I'm confused, and I feel like you're confused as well. I'm not gonna lie. But also, like, yeah, we have Will and Tessa on the bottom of the deck here. We have Will and Tessa and Jem on the 2 of blades here. And I feel like look how Will is looking at Tessa in this card. He's looking at her, I don't know, he's sad. I don't know if that's sadness, longing. It almost feels like, and Jem's not even looking at them, so he doesn't necessarily see the double bind that they're in. Like Tessa is in, like, a kind of difficult situation, and Will can see this, but he can't do anything about it, right? In this card. And Jem can't see it. Jem's not as aware about the situation that's going on here. And then in this card, Will and Tessa are just, like, freely reading books together, happy, enjoying themselves, right? And I feel like it's, for you, like, you want to, I don't know if it's the other person that you've, like, made this alliance with or in this relationship with, but it's like you wanting to make a situation better. Like, it's almost like you want the situation to get better for you, but also for other people in your life. I feel like you see the benefit of you freeing yourself in this situation. Like, there's some kind of, I feel like, freedom that's happening here. Again, like not having to take everything onto your own, like, but I think it's in service also of, it's weird because I feel like you've been in service to others for a long time, or you've been at the behest of others for a long time, and it's almost like you are looking to release some of that burden so that you can then be there for someone else, or be more present in this alliance as well, maybe. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Like, you want to set this person free, or you are this person who wants to be set free. But I'm getting more, because Will is, like, the one in this card who can see, and he's also in this card as well. Like, he's the only one with his eyes open. I feel like that's you, because I feel like your eyes are being opened. And it's kind of like you're the only one who can do anything about this. Like, but I feel like part of this process is you releasing the idea that you're the only one who could do anything about this, right? Like, it's weird. It's like a little bit of a paradox, right? Like, you're releasing the idea that it's all on your shoulders. And yet you're the only one who can actually do that, right? Like, you're the only one who can make that choice. And that's why where this is leading for you is being able to see where, okay, we got there. It took forever, but we got there. It's gonna help you be able to really fully see where you have been trapped, where you have been stuck, where you have felt helpless, and you've not been. And, like, I feel like this Two of Runes card, this Two of Cups card, is going to help you. This is you, like, doing what you really want to do, being who you really want to be, feeling actually free to enjoy your leisure time and enjoy yourself when you're not doing anything. Like instead of, like, I don't know, like I'm getting the example of, instead of coming home from work and, like, I don't know, checking out immediately and, like, reading a book or watching television to escape, like, the workday and, like, the everything that you have to do in your life, you're now going to actually just, like, watch TV or read a book or, like, do something that you enjoy doing because you enjoy doing it, not because you need to do it in order to feel okay, right? That's what I'm kind of feeling. And I almost feel like that's what you're realizing now through this new connection that's entered your life, this new alliance that you've formed, this new willingness to work with others or with another person. You're starting to recognize where you have not been free, where you've been indecisive, where certain things have held you back that you thought were legitimate, but you're now realizing you don't need those things to hold you back anymore. Like, you're starting to realize where you've been holding yourself back, and you're starting to realize where you've been stuck in your own head, and you're getting out of it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Congratulations. But as I said, you know, for some of you, this might not be the easiest process. And so, your higher self wants you to know it's worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna get some song. I feel like this one has been a little bit all over the place. Like, I hope this all made sense. Because I'm not gonna lie, your energy here, the energy of this group, has been a little bit confusing. But I feel like that's because it's been confusing for you, because I feel like there's a lot that you haven't seen and haven't been conscious of or aware of, that you're coming into consciousness and awareness of, or at least you're seeing it in a new way. And this other person, or this other person's either helping you see this in a new way, or you making this alliance as a product of you starting to see things in a new way. But you're not, like, fully on the other side of it yet, so you don't actually fully know where this is leading. For you, like, you don't fully see or understand how your reality is changing as a result of this yet. This card's just gonna keep popping out. Like, I don't think it's not gonna pop out, but I'm still gonna take it for you, because I feel like I feel like I should just take this card for every group, because it's popped out in every group so far, and I just feel like it's just gonna keep popping out. But it makes sense. Like, it works. So I'm gonna leave it. And is there anything else, Group 3's higher self, that you want to? Okay, yeah, another Tesha. Oh my god. Oh yeah, because Tessa's right. Group 3, do you have trouble, like, communicating? Do you have trouble saying words? I don't want to blame this on you or anything, because, like, it's not a big deal. I mean, it happens to me as well, but, like, I have struggled to get, like, concrete words out. Like, I've struggled to get to the point in this reading, and I was not having that issue in the other groups so much. So, I don't know. I feel like you might have some trouble with that. Which is why you, like, forming a new alliance, like, you working with someone else is also such a big deal, because it's, you know, you might not be used to that. Like, I get the sense that you're used to being, like, the lone wolf, the one who's got has everything on their own plate and, like, can't, like, delegate, can't work with anyone else, or doesn't trust anyone else to, like, handle things with them. But, like, you're getting there. You're learning how, and it is a big deal, and it will be good. So Rainbow, as I said, this song came out in both of the other groups so far, and I just feel like it's I think it's because of the way the card is kind of bent, but at the same time, like, it actually, the message on it works for all of the groups. So I'm gonna give it to you anyway. So it says, "I found a rainbow. Trust me, I know life is scary, but just put those colors on, girl. Come and play along with me tonight." And it's all about healing. It's all about seeing life through a lighter lens, seeing life through a more colorful lens, having more fun, just letting yourself be a bit carefree. And your higher self is saying, let's go, let's play, let's have fun. I just feel like maybe everyone's higher self wants that for them today, because that is the vibe that I'm getting. Like, all the messages have been quite different, but they have all been centered around, like, releasing some kind of burden, seeing, like letting go of some kind of letting go of something that has been weighing you down. And in your case, I feel like what's been weighing you down has been very much on the physical level, very much on responsibilities that you've had to take on, that are just no longer working for you. And now you're finally getting the opportunity to share the load, to set boundaries on what you can and can't take on. And your higher self is like, yeah, like, yes, do that. Yes, it's time to lighten up. It's time to let go of some things. It's time to enjoy life right now. You know, enjoy whatever new developments are happening in your life, and just take a more colorful view on life and what it can be. Open up to the potential that can grow now that it has room to grow. I'm almost getting like this Five of Rings being like a garden with too many weeds in it. Again, not saying that these children are weeds, not saying that if there's people that you're taking care of that they're weeds. It's not that at all, but it's more like everything being on your plate. It's not necessarily that it needs to be there, and if it's being taken off of your plate, that's meant to happen. That's meant to happen, and it's freeing you up to have more space to plant seeds and grow new things and create new things in your life. Like, this era is over, basically, with this new this new way of, you might be working with someone else, but it also could be like this new way of working with life as well, of relating to the universe as feeling more supported by someone else, by other people, by life in general. Like, I feel like, yes, you're taking on this new perspective or this new alliance with life in a way that is allowing you to relax more and to let go of some things that are that can be taken care of by someone else, by something else, by the universe, in whatever way is possible. Speaking of letting go, we have Learn to Let Go by Kesha as well, which says, I think it's time to practice what I preach, exercise the demons inside me, gotta learn to let it go. The past can't haunt me if I don't let it, live and learn and never forget it, gotta learn to let it go. Yeah. So, it's about you learning to let certain things go. And maybe for some of you, it's also letting go certain things from the past, but it's also, I feel like literally physically letting certain things go. And it's time, because it's time to. We also have It Gets Dark by Sigrid, and it says, it gets dark so I can see the stars. Yeah, so there's things that you've outgrown. There's things that you have put too much pressure on you, and like, that pressure is causing you to it's causing you to sprout, like, in like this. I sometimes see the Ace of Pentacles as like a seed sprouting, and I feel like it's causing you to like sprout into a new person, into a new life, because you're growing past, I don't know, it's growing you, but it's also like you're realizing you don't have to grow that way anymore. Like, you don't need that to grow. Like, if you put a lot of pressure on yourself in the past, maybe you thought for a while that's how you grow. But I feel like you're realizing that actually, by taking some of the pressure off, you're now able to like, or at least that maybe that did help you grow in the past. Maybe it's time to take that off your plate. Maybe that's no longer helping you, right? That's no longer how you want to grow. And so you're relieving yourself of that. Interesting. I hope that made sense. This one was a little bit of a doozy. This one was a little bit all over the place, but I'm going to trust the messages that came through. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope this resonated. Thank you so much to you and your higher self for celebrating this with me. And yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear how this resonated, especially like some of the things that came through. If they made sense to you, I'd love to know how. And also, if you're interested in a personal reading, we do offer those on our website, Sunflower Philosophy Tarot, link in the sunflowerphilosophy.com, link in the description. And also, we offer hypnosis and human design services as well. So if you're interested in those, check them out. Thanks again. Have a wonderful life. And I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye. Hi, Group 4. If you selected the Lemon Topaz, then you're in the right place, and this is your reading all about what your higher self wants to celebrate with you. So, as I mentioned in the group selection, I have this Astro Oracle card to get us started with a topic that we're celebrating today, and then I'm going to get into more details with the tarot and probably finish off with some song cards, as I've done for the other groups, even though I almost forgot a couple times, but let's get into it. So we have the card Descendant for you, number 37, with Invitation. So this is interesting. It's weirdly similar to both groups 2 and 3 in that like 2 was sort of about like letting down your guard and inviting people in, letting people, well, I say people. In that case, it was more like letting life in general. People could be included in that, but it was really a general sense of letting your defenses down. And then group 3 was about forming some kind of alliance, maybe even a new kind of relationship. And so I'm almost feeling like this Descendant is similar. It's almost like a combination of the two. Like, the Descendant it could be about, for you, maybe there's some kind of invitation that you've received recently. But the Descendant can also be about how we invite others in and how we invite new opportunities, invite other people's like ideals and values and how we respect other people, what we respect in other people, what we allow into our life, what we don't allow into our life, and establishing even like boundaries around that and deciding what it is that we would like to invite in and what it is that we would like to exclude. And so I feel like this is actually celebrating for most of you. Maybe if there's some kind of, literal invitation that we're celebrating here, you could take that very literally. But for a lot of us, I don't know if am I included in this, a lot of people here, this is celebrating something related to, I feel like boundaries almost. Something related to you having a solid filter for what you let into your life and what you don't. And maybe particularly who. Interesting. Group 1 and group 2 were a lot more like clear, and then group 3 and group 4 we're struggling a little bit. Like, I'm not sure off the bat what to do with this energy, but it's interesting. So I do feel like it's a bit more of an esoteric kind of situation for you guys. So we're going to get into the tarot right away. So let's ask why are we celebrating this? Why are we celebrating this? Queen of Wands. Okay, this is starting to become clearer now. All right. Where is this leading for group 4? Where is this leading for group 4? 10 of Blades. Okay. And then last but not least, why are you celebrating this now? Like, why, or what else do you want group 4 to know about this? What else do you want to tell group 4? Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. It's becoming a lot clearer now. It is. We have the Leader on the bottom of the deck with Charlotte Branwell. And I don't know why I said her name. Maybe you're familiar with the Shadowhunters books. Maybe you're familiar with the Infernal Devices, so you might know her character. This is also the same number as the Justice card in traditional tarot. But I feel like, I mean, with her coming out, and then we have the Queen of Steels, which is the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Blades is the Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Steels is the Eight of Wands. This is about you stepping into your power. And so that's why we have the Descendant with Invitation, because it's almost like we're celebrating you stepping into your power in a way that is allowing you to invite things into your life in a new way. Like, it's almost like you stepping into your power, it automatically filters the universe for, like, you've honed your filter for, like, what is for you and what's not for you. It's giving manifesting energy. It's giving, like, magnetizing. It's giving, like, the Queen of Wands is giving attracting energy. Like, you're attracting in. You've had some kind of, like, you've shifted the way that I feel like your self-concept, how you see yourself, how you move about the world in a way that is changing what it is that's actually welcome in your life and what's not. So I feel like your aura has strengthened. Your aura has strengthened, and you're starting to naturally hone in on what is meant for you and release what is not meant for you. And you're also taking it's interesting because these are both feminine figures, but we have the leader here. I feel like you're taking a leadership role in your own life. And it's interesting because I'm getting a lot of, like, it's almost like you're like you are the bouncer at your own party, right? And you get to decide. You're feeling empowered in deciding who and what you invite inside and who or what you turn away at the door. And you're getting much more comfortable in that, much more natural at that. And you're feeling empowered and in charge of your own life. And you're being a leader in the sense of, it's not like King of Wands energy going out and doing the thing. It's like Queen of Wands in that people come to you, things come to you, and then you say, yes, no, wait, okay, go ahead. Like that kind of thing, right? And you're almost also like projecting like this aura of confidence, this aura of like, I know what I'm doing, and you're stepping more into that now. And again, like the word filter is coming through. So I feel like you're more effectively filtering out that which is not for you. And that's allowing you to have more energy, to feel more powerful, to feel stronger in yourself, to feel more confident. And where that's leading for you with this Ten of Blades is really an ending in overthinking. You're realizing that you don't have to overthink anything. That you can trust yourself to know what is right for you and know what is not. You don't have to over-explain why something is for you and why it's not. You can trust your gut instincts. You can trust your intuition. And you can simply say no. For some people, this is really about also just like literally setting boundaries and being able to say no. Feeling confident in saying no. And confident in saying yes. Feeling decisiveness, yes. We're celebrating a newfound sense of decisiveness in you, a newfound sense of knowing what's right for you and what's not, and a release. This is leading to a release in overthinking. I feel like this is something that you're stepping into already, but you might still have some old habits of overthinking, maybe strategizing too much, where a simple no would be, yes, okay. It's like if you are invited to a party and you don't really want to go, but then you feel like you can only say no if you have like a quote unquote legitimate reason and you have to explain yourself and everything, where you could just simply say, oh, thank you so much, but I can't make it that day, but I appreciate the invitation. And like, you don't have to explain yourself. Like you can literally just do that. And it's kind of like that energy of not needing to say, oh my God, well, no, I can't go because this X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and whatever, and this and that, and needing like a million zillion reasons to justify why you can't go to this one party. It's like, it's not that deep. just don't go. You know? And you don't have to be rude about it. Like, you don't have to be like, ew, I don't want to go to your party. Like, I don't even think it's about that. I feel like it's just sometimes you just know that that's not where you want to be, or you are really tired, maybe you've been really busy. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can explain if you want to, if you need to, but you don't have to. You can just simply say, I can't make it. I can't do it. Yeah, and you're letting go of the overthinking that can cause things like guilt and rumination and wishy-washiness, indecisiveness. No, you're done with that. And it might still be in the process of happening. I feel like it's also a situation where you might be, especially, I'm getting a lot of like manifestation kind of culture coming through. So like maybe you're someone who's really into that kind of thing. It's also giving me the sense of like you manifesting things coming into your life, and you like being wishy-washy about whether to accept the thing, to take the opportunity, whether is this right? Is this not right? And sometimes it's because you're not sure if you're worthy of it. Sometimes it's because it's not really what you want, but then you're like, what if something better doesn't come along? And it's kind of like you're getting rid of all of that over analyzing, and you're just being very in the moment and assessing. Like this Queen of Wands here, she's empowered. The things and people that are coming to her are not in power. She's in power, right? So I feel like you're releasing a time when you gave too much power away to other things outside of your control, to other people, without them even necessarily asking for it, right? And now you're feeling that power within yourself, and you're not debating, you're not wondering, you're not in your head, or you will soon not be so in your head about it. Like, I feel like you've been developing and working on your self-confidence, your self-worth, your feeling like you can trust yourself and like you know what you're doing, feeling powerful, feeling empowered. And this is leading you to stop overthinking, to release any old patterns of guilt and of, oh, is this right for me? Is this not right for me? Like we're coming to the end of that cycle. And what this Eight of Wands is telling me is that this is speeding things up for you a lot in your life. Like, oh, I'm feeling so much like this is a person who has, consciously or not, in the past, put so many roadblocks in their way just with their mind, just going back and forth with themselves, not feeling like they can trust themselves to make the right decision, or that if they make a certain decision that like they can't trust themselves to make the most of that decision, right? Like being stuck in analysis paralysis, being stuck in, I don't know what's truly for me, or is this really what I want, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, not, like you're just so much more confident in yourself, in your abilities. You know, you're much more in touch with your true gut instincts, your true intuition. You're getting much more in touch with your sense of power, and you're getting so much more out of your head. You're just feeling, yes. Yeah, and you're removing all these roadblocks. Like, I feel like you might have spent a lot of time being like you might have come up with an idea in the past and been like, ooh, I want to try this. And then you've been like, oh, but if I try this, and what about that? And then this could come up. And all this overthinking, all this, like, you have an idea and then you just start putting roadblocks and coming up with reasons why you can't do it. We're coming to the end of that cycle. Whatever it is that you've been doing to work on your sense of self, to work on your self-esteem, it is working. And so this Ten of Blades here is signaling the end of that toxic cycle. And I do feel like this is what's coming up for you, because for a lot of you, it's not quite over yet, but you are stepping into this power role. You're stepping into the role of a leader of your own life. You're stepping into a role of this Queen of Wands. And you're starting to feel good about yourself. You're on that path, and you're not making decisions from anxiety, from your anxious mind now. You're seeing the truth of the things that you've just put in your way that no longer need to be there. And yeah, Eight of Steels, it's speeding things up for you. It's making things go faster. It's bringing in the success or the relationships or the life that you want, the things that you've been wanting to bring into your life this whole time. But it's not coming from a place anymore of, oh, I need this to feel worthy, and once I feel worthy, and once I have this thing, I'll feel worthy, and once I have this thing, I'll feel confident, once I have this thing, I'll feel happy. No, you're not waiting for that anymore. You are stepping up and taking things into your own hands and saying, I am who I am, what I have, who's in my life, anything external to me. It's I don't want to say it's meaningless, but it's kind of meaningless. Like, it's icing on the cake, but at the end of the day, you get to be you, right? And you're starting to feel into that again, I just heard. So maybe for some of you, you went through a period of time where it was difficult for you to connect with yourself and feel strong and powerful, and you're returning to that sense of self. For others of you, you're reaching this place that you've never been before. And yeah, it's just, you're getting out of your own way. That's what I'm really feeling. You're getting out of your own way, and it's taking so many different forms, but mostly comes down to just like feeling empowered and just not overthinking things, trusting yourself for once in your goddamn life is what I just heard. Excellent. I feel like some of you are really fed up with like your old way of going about things, and maybe your higher self is like, thank God, let's move on. We are so much more powerful than this. But they're excited about it. Don't get me wrong. They're excited. They believe in you, and they're excited to see you start to believe in you. So with that, let's see if they've got any additional messages from the song cards. Yes, of course, that one card keeps popping out. I've said it in every group. I'll talk about it, but let's get anything else. I'll shuffle it 2 more times. Okay. All right. I mentioned this in every group too, but a lot of the songs that I've put on these cards, I realize, are like super dramatic and emotional, and like sometimes that doesn't always fit the vibe that we're in. So if you need to like water down the message, the lyrics a little bit to like hone in on what's actually for you, like feel free to take that. But also like, I don't know, some of these songs might just be really fun for you, so like feel free to check them out and like actually listen to the whole song and get the whole vibe, because it might connect with you. So if these are songs that you're not familiar with. So first we have Rainbow. It's come out in every group. I honestly think that this card just like, it just can't stay in the deck, but it's also kind of vibed with every group that we've gotten so far. So I just feel like this is the universal message that all of the higher selves have for all of the 3D physical people that we're connecting with today. And that is Rainbow by Kesha, and the lyrics are, I found a rainbow, trust me, I know life is scary, but put those colors on, girl, come and play along with me tonight. Yeah, everyone's higher selves wants everyone here to lighten up, to have more fun, to start to play with, and in your case specifically, like with what life has to offer, play with the universe. So if you're interested in like synchronicities and things like that, have a playful attitude about them. See them as like the universe talking to you, communicating with you, being like, hey, I'm here, you're here, we understand each other. Even, I would say, like, not taking it so seriously in terms of like, oh, what does that mean? Just being like, oh, that's fun. And just for the sake of it, being like, oh, it's really fun that I was thinking about pink elephants today and I saw a pink elephant. You know what I mean? Like, and just enjoy that, and for the sake of it, that's a specific message that came through for this group specifically with that song. So it's interesting, even though the song has come out in every group, it's a little bit different every time. But yeah, your higher self also, like, you could take it as messages from your higher self, like they want to play with you to have more fun with the process of manifesting. I think a lot of you are maybe into that here, but just like the process of honing your mind. For some of you might be specifically working on your mind, your mental health, and you're entering an era of more lightness around that. Oh, okay, wait. We've got more songs here than I thought. I'm gonna read Take Me Back to Eden next, because I'm like, I don't know, this one kind of came out last. I'm not sure if it's really the message for you, but it's probably here for a reason, so we'll read it. So Take Me Back to Eden by Sleep Token. And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite back in anger. No amount of self-sought fury will bring back the glory of innocence. Okay, no, actually, this is definitely for you, because it's really that Ten of Swords energy where you just like say, I've had enough, to any self-sabotaging thoughts, any overthinking, any devaluing yourself. You're just saying, I've had enough of that. I'm done with that. I'm this fucking Queen of Wands. I'm in charge here, and you're letting that go. Like, this is you being like, you're getting your fight back in you, right? Like, you're starting to stand up for yourself. Even, I feel like a lot of you standing up for yourself is happening internally. Like, it's you standing up for yourself to you, to your mind, to any thoughts that have just not been serving your confidence and your power. We have May I, by Trading Yesterday. May I hold you as you fall to sleep when the world is closing in and you can't breathe. May I love you. May I be your shield. When no one can be found, may I lay you down. I feel like this is really your higher self, like, being like, hey, like, when things get difficult, like, when you're not feeling so great about yourself, you know, talk to me, invite me in, you know, connect with me, because I am you, right? And I'm always here for you. And you can always call on my energy. You can always call on me. I can always be there to support you. Even though the Queen of Wands is, you know, and the leader card is giving like strong, independent woman, it's like, but also you can lean on like part of being a strong, independent woman is also knowing who and what you can lean on, and trusting that and being able to trust that, right? And so I feel like it's also softening up to the idea that there are either people literally physically that can be there for you in your life, and or the universe is there for you, your higher self, like any higher power that you believe in, anything that you feel you can call on outside, like that's not outside of you, because nothing's really outside of you, right? Like, what even is this existence? Like, is it right? But at the same time, there's a part of you that might believe in the idea that you're all alone and it's all on you. But that part of you learning to surrender and release control and settle into this idea that like there's something out beyond it that can take care of things for you, that also helps you feel more confident in yourself, because you're not constantly taking on everything as your own responsibility. And if things don't go a certain way, then if you're starting to like feel like I'm in control of everything, then when things don't go in the way that you think that they should go, that your mind tells you they should go, that can really shatter your confidence. And I feel like that is, if there's any tendency left that you have to do that, to say, this is all on me, and if it's not working out, it's also all on me, you're being encouraged to reevaluate that and to find a new way to think of life, and maybe a new way to relate to life that is not putting so much on your shoulders. And I do feel like you're in the process of realizing this and of becoming more aligned with the idea that you don't have to do it all, and it doesn't have to all be on you. And then we have Turning Wake by, who's this by again? I didn't write it down, and I don't remember. But you can search the lyrics if you want to find the song. We are born of dust and silence, we are made of ancient song, and there are those who keep us sleeping, and there are those who bring the dawn. Put your back to the birch and your mind to the matter of a listening kind of way. Yeah, so this is, to me, is telling you to quiet your mind, to not pay attention to the thoughts and the ideologies that keep you sleeping, that keep you stuck in fear, that keep you stuck in a lack of confidence in yourself, that keep you stuck in anything that's just not helpful, not true, doesn't encourage you forward, doesn't build you up. And anytime that it also could be very literally like about meditation. With the Ten of Blades here, I definitely feel like you've got some mental oh boy, we better close this out soon, because I'm starting to lose it. But this is about getting rid of some mental chatter that you're done with. And so, instead of choosing more carefully what thoughts you actually listen to, but also getting into the habit of listening rather than filling the silence. And that could mean also how you communicate and what you say. Not feeling so pressured to speak so much, to fill silence, but rather becoming better at listening. Listening to silence, listening to other people, listening to what's actually going on within you, and being less judgmental about what you find, being more open to, interesting, what is this, what's going on here? And also the kind of listening skills that you develop when you practice meditation. And also listening to maybe your body more than your mind at times. Because sometimes your mind will tell you, you have to do this thing, and your body will be telling you, I can't do this thing. I don't have the energy to do this thing, right? And being careful about who you're listening to. I feel like this is something that you're actually, because we're celebrating this, you're actually already in the process of it. And you're succeeding. You're probably doing better than you think that you are, if this Ten of Swords is any indication. And this process is speeding up for you as well. So if you feel like the voices have gotten louder, it's only because they are getting ready to go. Like, they know that they're not going to be around much longer. Like things put up more of a fight when they realize that they're actually they're being taken down, right? And so that's what's happening here within you. But it's the process speeding up. And so hang in there. And if you need someone to lean on, your higher self is here for you. So I hope you can believe in that. I hope you can accept that. I hope you can use that to lighten up a little bit and relax a little bit more. Yeah. But look at you, stepping into your power. This is great. I'm very excited for you. Congratulations. Thank you for celebrating yourself with your higher self. Your higher self also thanks you for being here, which I didn't actually say that in any other groups, but that just came through now, and I'm sure all of the higher selves are thankful to everyone, but yours specifically wants to say thank you for being here and spending some time with this message. And I hope this resonated. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this resonated. I would love to hear from you. And if you're interested in a personal reading, we do offer various options for tarot readings on our website, sunflowerphilosophy.com, link in the description and pinned comment. And if you're interested in hypnosis and human design, you can also check out those services as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful life, and I will see you in another reading again sometime very soon. Bye!